All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for our conversation with Brooke, who is with us. Brooke is the program manager at Northern Arizona Care and Services After Assault NACASA, which is under North Country Healthcare's umbrella as a service or a program. And correct me if I misspoke, but Brooke, welcome. How are you today?
Thanks so much for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Brooke and I just had a great conversation about all the different programs and services that they offer through NACASA to the community, and it's really impressive work that you all are doing, and very important work and very difficult work, and much appreciated. So thank you, first of all, for everything that you're doing and your team is working on. It's really important stuff that you all are addressing. Brooke, if
Thank
you'd like
you.
to just start us off with an introduction and kind of dive into some of your services.
Absolutely. So NACASA, Northern Arizona Care and Services After Assault, is an outreach program out of North Country Healthcare. We offer a variety of services, but the main service that we offer is medical forensic exams. So we have a team of medical forensic nurses who provide exams to victims of sexual assault and domestic violence strangulation within 5 days of assault. So we can see patients age 13 and over, so we do adolescents and adults. We work closely in conjunction with Safe Child at Flagstaff Medical Center for individuals aged 13 to 15. And so I'll just kind of walk you through what a sexual assault exam is composed of versus a domestic violence strangulation exam. So a sexual assault, if somebody is sexually assaulted, they can receive an exam free of charge, whether they're reporting to law enforcement or not. And that's a part of the VAWA, Violence Against Women law that came out of 1994. So whether somebody's reporting to law enforcement or not, they receive the same services. They're not charged anything. And so they'll come in, they'll meet with the nurse. They will provide a medical history, a history of the assault. They'll do a head to toe evaluation just to make sure they're doing okay. We can provide prophylaxis to prevent sexually transmitted infections. We can provide medication to prevent pregnancy. We then do we can provide a pelvic exam if that's appropriate. And we have a camera system that we can do photo documentation of any injuries. We can also take swabs to collect any potential evidence. All of this is wrapped up and put into a kit that's handed off to the Department of Public Safety for processing. And if the person is reporting to law enforcement and the case is charged, everything gathered within the context of a medical forensic exam can be used to aid in investigation of the case. We also have a partnership with the Assistance League of Flagstaff. We have a fully stocked closet that if I were at the clinic, I'd show you, but a lot of times victims have to give up their clothes as evidence. Sometimes we have victims who come in without any clothes at all. So after the exam, they can shower at our facility and they can pick out a brand new set of clothes and toiletries to take home with them. And we send home kind of a little self-care kit with them. So that's the sexual forensic exam.
Yeah, keep going.
Perfect. So the other type of exam that we offer is domestic violence strangulation exams. So if somebody is strangled in the context of a domestic violence or intimate partner violence relationship, we can also see them within 5 days. Again, this exam is offered for free. However, for strangulation exams, victims do have to be reporting to law enforcement. So historically, NACASA started off just doing the sex assault exams. And it was in either 2014, I want to say 2014, that the Coconino County Attorney's Office recognized the high lethality that's associated with strangulation and decided to start funding for sexual assault exams so that victims of this type of crime can come in and receive services. We know that a large percentage of domestic violence domestic violence relationships have a component of strangulation. And once a person puts their hands around their partner's throat, they become 7.5 times more likely to murder that person. Simultaneously, though, as serious as this is, about 67% of strangulation injuries or strangulation assaults don't have visible injuries. So we're kind of straddling this line of knowing, it's a complex and serious and dangerous crime, but a lot of the times there isn't really visible injury. So we're working to kind of combat that stigma in the community that just because you might not be able to see an injury doesn't mean that it's not serious and that it's not life threatening. So again, they'll come in, they'll meet with a medical forensic examiner, um, start with a medical history, an assault history. They'll then do the head to toe evaluation along with photographs. And I think it's important to note that, it's not a coincidence that our organization provides exams for these two type of crimes, because domestic violence and sexual assault are both considered crimes under the umbrella of intimate partner violence. And I'd say about 30% of the cases that we see are victims who have experienced both crimes, where they're experiencing sexual assault within the context of an intimate partner violence relationship. So these crimes often go hand in hand, and a lot of the time, safety planning is really important for both types of crimes.
Thanks for sharing all that, Brooke. Can you talk a little bit about folks today in the situation that we're in as a society with COVID? What would be your direct message to someone today at home who might be afraid and concerned about their well-being and not necessarily in the safest of environments?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking that. So we know right now that I think it's difficult because we're hearing nationwide that it's safest to be at home, and a lot of people being at home isn't a safe place. So if you or someone you know or love might be quarantined or isolating with somebody who's abusive or somebody who makes you feel unsafe in your home, I just want you to know that you're not alone. There's a lot of services out there, ours included. We partner closely with Northland Family Help Center. We have a helpline. It's 928-527-1900. That's a 24/7 helpline, crisis line. And you could also text Victim Witness Services. They have a text line, and I'm so sorry that I don't know that number off the top of my head, but Victim Witness Services, they do 24/7 crisis response. ACES DV is the Arizona Coalition to End Sexual and Domestic Violence. They also have a 24/7 crisis line. So just know that you're not alone, that there's services out there, that you can receive services if you're experiencing violence or if you're feeling unsafe at home, whether you're reporting to law enforcement or not. So I know sometimes reporting can be a scary step. And maybe if somebody is not ready to report, that doesn't mean that you can't get help. So please know that there's people out there who are concerned about you and are ready to help. And again, that you can receive services whether you're reporting or not.
Yes, absolutely. And for folks watching, definitely visit flagstaffresources.com. A lot of these services and text lines and crisis lines that we're talking about and more are on this website. And you can use a little search bar to search for specifically what you're looking to achieve. And we like to think that you will find what it is that you need to find, because those resources are available in the community, and help is on its way if you reach out. Brooke, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Any closing words that you'd like to share before we wrap this up?
No, I just appreciate you having me, and I think flagstaffresources.org is a wonderful
.com.
website. Oh my gosh, .com.
Okay, though.
Flagstaffresources.com. Thank you. It's a wonderful resource. I'm so glad that you've introduced it to our community. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brooke, and thank you all for tuning in.